Testing 1, 2, 3. Now you should be able to hear me. Testing, yeah. Here we go. I'm looking on my other screen here to check. Because it won't work if you can't hear me. Yeah, so I'm hearing myself over here. Hey everyone. Well, now I'll say hello. Thank you for joining me this evening. And I know it's busy time. We're getting ready to start school. And so I thought I would hop on here today and do a quick kind of share out on something I shared yesterday on social media. In fact, well, I'll share it here shortly. But I shared a tweet on how you can add a lower third into a Flipgrid camera recording. And I'm going to be using Adobe Spark to create it. So I'm going to walk you through Adobe Spark and how to create it. I shared a template and a link to a tutorial which was on the phone. I didn't realize that when I shared it. So it's a little bit different editing on the phone than it is on the computer. It's much easier on a computer. But before we start, if you would share the video, click the share button and share it on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you have friends. If they're still having dinner at the moment, you know, maybe they can watch while they're eating dinner. But share it out, and as more and more people kind of join, that'd be great. And even if we don't get a lot of people live, it's okay, because this is going to be saved on YouTube, so you'll still be able to watch it afterwards, which is great. So still be able to share that link too. So if you've also at the same time while you're there sharing it, hit that like button, because when we hit that like button, more people, YouTube has algorithms and it'll share it with more folks and kind of put it in front of them to see. And if you are interested in seeing more Adobe Spark tutorials, Adobe Rush tutorials, and many other things on my channel, you can subscribe to it, and then you'll kind of be notified whenever I go live and whenever I share a new video. So I see Sherry was there, but she's gonna hop back out. Amy, how are you? I'm gonna say hi to Amy. It's a good friend of mine. Hope you're doing well in Anaheim, right? Anaheim, close to there. I know in California. I was hoping to would have been able to see you at ISTE, but for some little thing kind of kept us all away. So hopefully soon we'll be able to see each other again in the near future. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my screen. So let me do, I'm using multiple screens. I have my iPad down here where I'm kind of making sure that I can see my video, and then I have my control stuff over here. So let me hop onto the desktop. So actually, before I do that, I want to show you. So this right here at the bottom, so before I jump in and create it, I want to give you a little explanation on what it is, what a lower third. So if you've never heard of the term lower thirds, you're trying to figure that out. So this right here is a lower third. And this one actually I created using Photoshop. But the great thing about using Adobe Spark Post is you can create this as quickly, I think even faster than using Photoshop. So for things like this, Spark is the answer. And so I'm going to show you how to create one actually that will look kind of like that right there. So I'm going to show you how to make that right there. And you can put your picture right here, which is pretty cool. Right, let me make sure I'm pointing, you know, a picture right there. And you can add your own. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, before I move on, so lower thirds, I got sidetracked. Lower thirds, and then you have middle thirds, and then you have top thirds. So if you have a camera or your iPhone, and when you're taking a picture, you can have the grids, which you can choose to view grids. And what happens is your screen is kind of, you can see kind of like a tic-tac-toe board. It's broken up into 9 quadrants. Well, that bottom is your lower thirds kind of area. Then you have middle, and then top, and then you have right, left, and middle. So in cinematography, photography, you kind of use those lines to help kind of take photos and video to really emphasize characters and photos that you're taking. So let's go ahead now and jump into Adobe Spark Post here. So I'm going to show you my desktop there, and you should still be able to see me down there at the bottom. So we are going to be looking at Spark. So again, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to start from the very beginning. and walk you through. Now, if you don't have Adobe Spark, let you know it's Adobe Spark is free for everyone, and you can create an account for free with Adobe. And the only thing you'll see is when you export a project, you'll have an Adobe Spark kind of watermark. But I'm going to show you how, when you create it, take that into account so that way it won't show up. It's like a little manipulation that we'll do. But if your school, or even your personal, you have your Creative Cloud account, you will have access to the full premium version of Adobe Spark. That removes that watermark. You can basically brand your content. And if you don't have a personal Creative Cloud account, or maybe you're in a school district or in a company or organization that has Creative Cloud for their employees, or again for students and teachers, and you have Adobe Spark for education, for example, then you have access to premium, and you can remove that watermark, which is really awesome. It gives you a lot of extra features, just like the branding part. So if you're looking right here really quick on my left screen, this right here shows brands. That's where I'll just kind of click there just to show you while I'm talking about it. So like these are brands. So I have mine, this fake one I made up, and this is like my school district. So because I do a couple projects. So let me click back at home so you can brand your content. All right. Let's go ahead and start from scratch. We're going to start from scratch and click on the blue plus sign. And we're going to click on custom size graphic. FYI, today, the last 2 weeks, like my computer completely shut down and restarted for no reason. So cross your fingers with me that I have to figure out what's going on. It happened today in the morning, so hopefully it doesn't happen. Knock on wood there. So what I'm going to do is actually make a custom size. I'm going to go 1920 by 1080, and that just makes that's kind of your high definition size. And you don't have to go to the 4K size, but I would do 1920 1080. It's just going to be a nice sharp image, and make sure it's on pixels. You can also choose different sizes here, but for the lower third, I'm going to go 1920 by 1080 and then tap on next. And I'm going to let this go through here. Sometimes you get some really cool messages there. So here's my kind of like my play area. And because I'm streaming, it's going to be like just lag just a tiny bit. I have my fans working right now. First thing I'm going to do on the top left corner is name this. I'm going to call this lower third. And since we're going to be taking this to Flipgrid, I'm going to type in Flipgrid. I started the whole thing without even saying what I'm doing today. I just realized that. I talked to Adobe Spark. Maybe I did. I just didn't realize it. We're going to take our lower thirds into Flipgrid and use it when we record. So I'm going to walk you through that. I forgot to say that. All right, so here's my blank screen, and now what I'll do here is we're going to add an icon. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to go by layers like a cake. I'm going to start at the bottom and then kind of stack on top. The first thing I'm going to do is add a background for that lower third, and I'm going to choose rectangle. And I'm going to pick something that's solid like this one right here. And earlier today I was playing with this and I was having little hiccups with it. So let's see if okay, it's not doing it right now, so that's good. And I just see a little laggy right now. Let's make sure my fans are going full speed here. You may hear a little bit of fan work. I'm going to try to move back so you don't hear it. Just to make sure that my computer doesn't slow down. So I'm going to choose a color here. Let's go these are like my brand colors. I just like these colors. But since we're going to take it to Flipgrid, I'm going to go with like a green. And I know the Flipgrid's got more colors. So we got that new logo. So I'm going to choose that green and change this up. And yeah, let's go with this one here. My screen may look a little bit different. Well, I'm going to go a little darker. I'm liking that too bright. There we go. So I'm going to grab this and just kind of bring it down to the bottom. And it's just my computer's just catching up. All right, so now what I'll do is drag this piece, or just say grab that and kind of move it over here. So here's what I'm going to do I'm going to take into account the logo if you don't have the premium. I'm just going to bump it up a bit, move it up to the top, or just say not to the top, but up a little bit, like kind of like that, to give it some space, because what will happen is the Adobe Spark logo will show up about right here. Okay, so there's the kind of first layer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. So when I select it, see right here, there's a little handle up here in the middle. We're going to duplicate this. So now, if you notice, there's this line right here. That means there's another one on top. So now what I'm going to do, this is going to be a little bit tricky because you won't be able to see it. I'm going to click on that second one and change that kind of like a tone of a green, or even go white. Let's go with a different tone green. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that's not too bad. That'll work. So now if you notice, kind of you have that little separation there by color, and we're gonna move that. I'm going to use my keyboard there and just move it down a little bit, so that way we see that kind of an outline. Okay, so now we're going to click on icon. I'm sorry, add again. Go to icon, and in my link that I shared yesterday, I used a circle. You can use a square. You can use whatever other shape to kind of. We're going to create kind of an outline for a picture. So if you want, you can use a square, anything that works on that lower left corner. So here, I'm going to use a circle, and it's already that same color as my outline there. So at the moment, let's wait for that to catch up there. So actually, let me bring it back up here. All right, awesome. I see someone else joined us there. Ah, is that you, Scott? Think. So here we go. Got this. All right, so now I got my circle ready to go. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to bring in a photo. And so I'll click add, and this time go to photo, and let's upload one. I already have it on my computer. You'll see all the tons of folders that I have. And I have some selfies. So let's see. I think it's this one here. Yep, that one will work. Hit open. So I'm going to bring it in now. Even though it's square, or let's just say the photo has kind of got a square or rectangle kind of when you take a picture, that's okay. We're going to fix that. What you want, this is important, this part right here. Whenever you're creating or layering these things, you want to move it freely. Click on move freely. And Scott, by the way, if feel free to share the link to people who aren't here. Let them know. Okay, join. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. So here's my picture, and now what I'm going to do. This feature was added earlier this year. I'm trying to remember exactly when. I don't remember exactly when, but when this happened is a huge update. It's been a while, but right here you can crop an image that you bring in. So I'm going to shape crop. So you can crop this picture into whatever shape you want. So if I click that, you can see it'll catch up a little bit here. You can crop them into 3 by 4. I don't know why my shapes aren't showing up. Let's go ahead. There we go. It just takes a little while to catch up. See the different shapes that you can crop this picture. I'm going to go with circles since that's what I have for my background. And it immediately will crop the picture for me. Now, Photoshop you can do this, takes a little bit longer. Again, as I mentioned, I just like doing it in here so much. It's just quicker. So there's the picture, and you can scale your image. I'm going to go where it says scale here. Kind of increase the size just a little bit, so it kind of gets like where my jacket lined or my chest. And let's slide this down. Ooh, but it's a little too big. Let's go just like slightly. There we go. Let's see. That's close enough. I'll take it. Then let's center this a little bit. A little bit more. I think I went too far. I got a new mouse and it's taking me like a good while to learn it. Okay. I'm gonna undo and bring them back one. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Cool, that's it. We can fix it. Just double click it. And we'll come back into the crop. I probably should have turned off some other applications I have running on the computer. Whenever you're doing live demos on streaming, it's always a little laggy. Here we go, here we go. Catch up. Here, let's click out here. Okay, now I'll do this. There we go. Okay, so I'll click on my picture. I'm going to use my keys this time. I'm just tweaking it little by little with my keyboard. Just a little too long. Let's slightly move it. There we go. Hopefully that does it. Trying to get it right centered. Get my face in between those two lines there so it's centered. Just about there. Maybe just a hair a little bit over. And I think that's going to do it, almost. You see in my face, I'm like really concentrating. It's like almost there. Almost. One more. Again, I'm like getting used to this mouse. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, I think that's going to work. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Woohoo. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this green circle and just kind of slide them up behind me there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select those two. So select them like that. And then here's the awesome thing, because using a mouse, it's always hard to try to align it. I'm going to go center, align vertically, and center and align horizontally. So like, you're like, hey, what happened to the circle? It's there. So now what I'll do is just maybe bring this down just a tad bit. So what I'm going to try to replicate is the same outline thickness of that green light. So we're almost there, just maybe a tad bit more. And I'll kind of get it close. I'm not going to worry about it. That should be good. And then we're going to do the same thing. Once I resize it, select both of those, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to repeat the align vertical and align horizontal. Just got to wait for my mouse to catch up. let's see. I think I'm gonna try to quit something else, but let's hold off on that. I know, in deep thought. All right. One of the things that I've learned about live streaming, different than recording my videos for YouTube, is there's a lot more. I would say I can probably trim all this out if I were recording it. Live lets you kind of see the thinking, which I think is cool. All right, there we go. Center. And because I have both of them selected as I do the center, that'll work. I'm going to group this. The nice thing about grouping is now when I move, it all goes together. So here we go. We're going to move this over down to the left side of my screen. And because I want to leave a little bit of extra space. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. Okay, now we'll move them. There we go. So we're going to move it down here. And I'm going to kind of line it up where I'm still going to see the bottom of the circle. So like a little too much. Let's come back up. Probably about, let's see. I think that'll be close right there. Maybe a little bit down a little more. Again, I think that'll work there. A little too much. Maybe what I'll do is I'll resize it a little bit. And that'll be pretty close there. So we're just going to move this up some. It's that fine tuning that takes place. Here we go. Okay, I don't mind that I see a little bit of the other side because we can resize it when we bring it into the Flipgrid camera. So just gonna one more tweak. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna stop touching it. All right, so now pretty much I'm done here for this part. Now what I could do is I could add text here if I wanted to and kind of make a standard lower third, but because in Flipgrid using the camera to record, you can add text in there. So I'm basically going to leave this blank so that I can use this pretty much for everything. So here we go. This is the next piece. This part is super important. You want to download a PNG. Don't choose JPEG, but you want to do PNG. It's going to give you the best quality. It won't be compressed. So JPEGs compress the information. It's still a good picture, but a PNG will be much better. And then when you do the start download here, this piece right here, super important. You want to do a transparent PNG. If I do solid, it's going to download with that white backing. So you don't want that white backing. Otherwise, when you go bring it into the Flipgrid camera, you're going to see the white. So choose transparent. That's the important part. So here we go, transparent. And let Spark kind of run its magic. And there it goes, saving, and it is done. So now what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and close this window. Actually, before that, let me cancel. We're going to go back to projects. I'm going to back out of this completely. And now I'll go ahead and close it. Okay, so now we're jumping into Flipgrid. So here we go. If you've never used Flipgrid, you signed up for free. Yes, what's today? Thursday. Yesterday, huge updates, and you actually get to see the part of the new updates using the camera. So I'm going to first log in. I've already created an account. If you've never signed up, use the educator sign up. Again, it's free. It's fantastic. So I'm set up to automatic login. So you see a bunch of grids here. I need to come in, and we need to do Sing a Song again. I haven't done it in a while. I need to bring that back. Celebrate the updates with Sing a Song. We'll do that. Okay, so up here at the top we have the menu options. I'm going to choose Shorts. So I'm going to show you how to use that lower third in the recording a video. Like if I were going to create like a lesson, like some of these samples that you see here, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now this will also work if you're in a topic as a student and recording, so students can create their own lower thirds and then bring them in. So the camera is the same, and just here I'm recording a video outside of a topic, so it's kind of like freestanding. So here we go, record a video. And this is something I just learned yesterday in communicating with Paul, who works for Flipgrid. He's like one of the programmers. He showed me this, and I was like, yes, thank you. So right now you're looking at this is like my webcam on my computer. And if I click flip, I get the better quality camera. It's still a little laggy because I'm live streaming, but I learned this yesterday and it just like blew my mind. I was like, yes. So like if I wanted to, I'm going to let's see. I can come here and adjust my camera and kind of zoom out a little bit. So now you can see like more of me in here. So that was really cool. Let's see. I think that'll work. All right. Okay, so here we go. Here's like the moment you all been waiting for. Stacy, how are you? I see Stacy's in here. You say hi there. So you want to go to Effects, and you have the filters are there like before, and we've got frames. Like you can bring in picture frames, which is great. So we're kind of creating a frame of our own with the lower third. So let's just kind of look at frames really quick. So see that frame right there? So we're basically replicating what that is, which is a PNG. It will let me back out of this, clear that frame. I'm going to back out, and we're going to upload a photo. So you can use PNGs or JPEGs. So there it is. So let's find the one we downloaded. The date added, just today. There it is, lower third Flipgrid. Click that. And there it is. Oh, sweet. Since I came in late, what size was the lower? Scott, I did 1920 by 1080. So I went 1920 by 1080 because the Flipgrid cameras, I believe this is going to be 720. So 1080, 1920 by 1080 will always give you a better. I always go big and then bring it down. I don't want to do 4K. High def is fine. So remember I mentioned about kind of you'll have the watermark here that says Spark. So what you would do is kind of compensate for that. So let's resize this, bring it down over here. And first let me size it to make sure it's the same, that we'll make it fit. And then what I would do is, let's just imagine I had that logo down there, then I can just I would just lower it so that you don't see it. And kind of like that. So if the logo were here, it would be living like right here in this white box area, so you can't see it. So I would basically just bring it down. That's kind of what I would do. Now, I mentioned that because leaving it blank gives you more options to add your own text. So here we go. Effects and text. It doesn't matter which one of these you pick, because you'll be able to tweak it. So if you want to kind of use typewriter, type font, I like just the classic look. And so let's type in lower third. Actually, I won't type in lower thirds. So welcome to and it doesn't matter if it goes out of the window or out of view, because we're going to resize it. And what I'll do now is we're going to click on background and not have a background, and then back up a bit, and then I will tap on the font color to make it white, so we have some nice contrast. And let's close this up, and now I can bring my text over here. Now that's okay if it's too big, because we can just resize it, make it smaller, and I just kind of keep moving it this way until we can get that whole thing to fit. You could always do kind of double, I believe, too. You can hit enter and then do 2 lines. So if I wanted to, I can do this. Welcome to Mr. Let's fix that S there. Welcome to Mr. Zavala's class. You know, if I wanted to, I can do this. Hit enter. And then align, align left. That way I get everything over there. And then, so we can have 2 lines if I want to. We can have that there. Or you can go all the way across, so it doesn't matter. So what I would do then is record, start recording. So let's kind of do a quick demo here. Hit record, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be choppy, the video. So, hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to Mr. Zavala's class. Today we're going to be learning some really, really cool things. We're learning about creating lower thirds. What you're seeing down here is a lower third. I'm going to show you how I'm going to switch from this to different wording coming right up. So now I'll pause it, and I can grab my text. And then we go, lesson 12, add lower thirds. So now, I can go bigger. There we go. So then, the nice thing about the pausing it, then I can record again and do the next sequence of video. Hey everybody. So I think I've already said that. Hey everybody. Let me redo that. Oh, cancel. I don't want to redo the whole thing. We'll go with the mistake. That's fine. Hey, today we're learning in lesson 12. So lower thirds, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to walk you through. We're going to use Adobe Spark to create this lower third right here that you're seeing. Okay. Pause. So you kind of get the idea. So thinking of yourself in the class creating, you can create multiple colored ones, different colored ones for different themes in your class. If you're self-contained doing language arts, science, different ones, maybe you can pick certain colors for your different subjects, different grade level. Something else I thought too is, instead of putting your picture here in this little circle, you can always put, let's say if you're teaching science, you could put something that has kind of a sciencey theme there in that circle. If sports, some sort of equipment there, drama. So I know that's for Amy, who likes the theater. We put the tragedy and comedy mask there. So just kind of the sky's the limit on what you can add there. It's basically up to you. So that again is all done in Spark Post, and then you just kind of bring it in here and add the text. That's kind of the advantage of it. Then when I'm done with this, we can just clear it all out, get rid of everything, and then bring in some other ones. So your students, if they want to create some news, kind of like announcement things, you can create kind of that news network type looking lower third in Adobe Spark. There may be already some in options here. So bring those. But it really gives the students the ability to create something, kind of do what we call app smashing and putting them together. So, oh, Amy, don't worry about that. I think my settings are wrong. So I don't know why it's doing that. So I read that. I think that's something's going on. I have to go back and fix my settings. So don't worry, you're okay. I don't know why it's doing that. But thank you for that. I say yes, go theater. So that's kind of it right here. Let me go ahead and kind of, is there any questions about what I've covered? And I think I kept it under an hour. So if you're still going to have dinner soon, you still make dinner. If you are eating dinner, you can still finish your dinner. And please do share it with friends. This is going to be available, so if friends weren't able to make it, they'll be able to just check out my channel and watch the video on replay. It'll be there for them. And yeah, share so that more people can see this. I'm going to go ahead and do that after we're done. I'll post it on Twitter and everywhere, so anybody who wants to watch it can do. So while I'm here, I'll kind of look at the chat there. If there are any questions that you have for me while I'm here, I can answer. And if not, we'll just kind of part ways here. Oh, you're so welcome, Stacy. Thank you for coming by. Scott as well, and Amy, thank you. I wish we can see each other in person, but we'll hopefully that'll be soon in the near future. So let me go ahead and back out. We're going to go back over to my demo screen here. Come back here, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and close out my Flipgrid here so my computer kind of rest a little bit there. Awesome. Cool. Well, everyone, I appreciate you coming by and watching this live session, creating the lower thirds in Adobe Spark, and then bringing them into Flipgrid and using them as part, kind of like your announcements, create those videos, kind of give it I say the production value for it, adding a little bit of a production value. And I think if students can kind of get in, use Spark and create these and then add their own spin, their own taste to it, their own voice to it, it'd be great. Not only can you create lower thirds, but you can create kind of graphics that they can pop in, point to them as they're creating those videos. So, all right, everyone, have a great night. Appreciate you coming by. As I always say, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and share it. And we'll see you next time. Be good to one another. Peace. I'm out.